our state's attorney and our courts to make sure that these individuals who are arrested and those to come are held accountable. Put your best people on this.
It does not serve us to have dishonest blame games when all of our hearts are breaking by what we are seeing.
Well, certainly some heated rhetoric in the wake of yesterday's looting and violence. The mayor demanding help from the courts. The state's attorney saying, don't point fingers. Somewhere in the middle of all of this is the public defender's office, whose attorneys represent many offenders in court.
And we're joined right now by the Cook County Public Defender, Amy Campanelli. Thank you so much, Amy, for joining us this morning. I believe we have Amy.
Yes, I'm on the phone. Thank you.
Okay, Amy, sorry. I'm used to seeing you on a Zoom call with us, so we'll take the phone call this morning. Hey, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. You know, your staff deals with a lot of suspects in cases like this, and looting. And, you know, looting doesn't happen every single day, but when people hear about the looting and then they hear the mayor saying and the superintendent saying, you know, people are not being held accountable, people basically get arrested and then they're back out on the street. What do you say to that?
What I say to that is that's not true. Obviously, the court system works. We hold people accountable every day. What the mayor said, I believe you just played it for your audience, is she doesn't need to tell the courts to do their job. She doesn't need to tell us to make sure that we are holding people accountable, because we are. We are representing the majority of the people who were arrested in May and June for burglaries and criminal damage to property. There really no charge for looting. It's either a burglary or a criminal damage to property. And the state attorney's office is prosecuting those people. And the 100 arrests, or however many the police made the other night, we will be defending those people, and the state attorney's office will be prosecuting them.
Well, you've got the superintendent of Chicago Police perpetuating the narrative that there are no consequences. He said as much yesterday in the press conference. He said they're emboldened, the looters, because they know they can come down here and nothing's going to happen to them. What can be done to change that narrative?
Well, I'm going to change that narrative right now just by saying that just isn't true. They are held to account for what they are. He arrested 100 people. That's accountability. They will then be processed at the police station. That's accountability. If the evidence is there, if it's honest evidence and it's credible evidence, the prosecutor will then put charges on those people, and they will be held accountable. This is just rhetoric to inflame people, to get people fearful, and that's not what a leader should do, and that's not what the superintendent should be saying. Neither the superintendent or the mayor should be pointing fingers at the court system or the state's attorney's office. That's not what they should be doing. We should be working together, listening to what is happening, listening to the people in the community, having honest conversations like State Attorney Kim Foxx said yesterday. That's what works. We need to get to solutions. People are mad, right? People are angry about what's happened with George Floyd. We don't know as of yet, even though the superintendent is saying this may have started from a shooting in Inglewood. And again, we're supposed to believe the narrative that the person who they shot, who is another black man, pointed a gun and shot at them. We're supposed to believe that, but they didn't have their body-worn cameras on. We don't see that. They're supposed to have body-worn cameras. That's one of the things that we have been asking for since the days of the Police Accountability Task Force, before the mayor was the mayor. There are things we can do. You heard Father Flager speak yesterday. We have to continue the conversations. We should not point fingers. We need to invest in communities and all the other reforms we've been talking about. That's what's going to make a difference.
Amy Campanelli, you know, I would love to speak with you more, but we're getting the rep from our producers, and
Right.
You just enlightened me with some new information I was not aware of in that incident at 57th and Aberdeen, that the officers that were shot at allegedly by the suspect in this case, who is now facing charges, that there was no body camera footage that we can gather and take a look at what unfolded out there. You do bring up a very good point. I'm sure the police say otherwise, but we appreciate you taking the time this morning to talk with us.
Thank you.